You grew up with the Lion King. You cried when Mufasa died. You cheered when Simba roared. But what if I told you Disney didn't tell you everything? Let's make this interesting. Try to guess which of these 10 secrets is the one Disney really didn't want you to know. Think you'll figure out number 1 before we reveal it? Let's find out. You thought you knew the Lion King? Think again. Behind the legendary soundtrack and royal drama lies a universe filled with secrets Disney never told you. From deleted characters to forbidden love stories. Today, we're diving into the top 10 biggest secrets in the Lion King universe. These aren't just fun facts. These are the kind of revelations that make you rewatch the movies with brand new eyes. Stick around till number 1, because it just might change the way you see Simba forever. Let's start with number 10, Rafiki's lost mentor, the Forgotten Oracle. But before we begin the countdown, ask yourself this. What if the most powerful figure in the Pride Land's history was someone we never saw on screen? Rafiki isn't just a baboon with a stick. In early drafts of The Lion King, he had a mentor, an ancient female mandrill, known as the Oracle of the Great Kings. She was said to be able to speak directly with Mufasa's ancestors. Rafiki trained under her before taking on the role of shaman, but Disney cut her from the script, fearing she would overshadow Rafiki's mystery. Concept art of her still exists, hidden deep in Disney archives. What knowledge did she carry that Disney didn't want us to see? And here's the wildest part. Some fans believe she was the first to ever speak of the roar of the elders. Could she be the key to understanding where the roar truly came from? Coming in at number 9, Kiara's Forbidden Friendship, a love story buried by time. What if the greatest Lion King romance wasn't between Kiara and Kovu, but between two lionesses torn apart by legacy? This wasn't just a deleted subplot. It was a forbidden bond, erased before it could rewrite everything. In the earliest versions of Simba's Pride, Kiara didn't just fall for Kovu. She had a best friend, a young outlander cub, who later became her enemy. They would meet secretly at night, echoing the Romeo and Juliet theme. But Disney scrapped the subplot before animation. Why? Maybe because it made the division between the prides way too emotional. Fans speculate that this mysterious friend evolved into Vitani. If true, Kiara and Vitani were never meant to be enemies. They were meant to be soulmates, separated by war. And if you thought forbidden love was dramatic, wait until you see what happens when the afterlife brings two royal brothers face to face. At number 8, the night Scar and Mufasa spoke again, beyond death. This changes everything you thought you knew about Scar. Was he truly evil, or just a brother lost in grief? This one will blow your mind. In a rare comic released only in Brazil, Scar and Mufasa meet in the afterlife. And get this, Mufasa doesn't yell or punish him. He forgives him. In a quiet moment under celestial skies, Scar admits his jealousy, and Mufasa tells him, "You were never meant to be king, but you were always meant to be my brother." Was this scene cut because it humanized Scar too much, or because it challenged everything we thought we knew about good versus evil? Think that's intense? What if the power that shaped the Pride Lands is actually a curse? Number 7 reveals, the roar was originally a curse, and Scar wasn't the first to fail. And here's the real twist. If others failed before Scar, could someone we love be next? We all know Scar lost the roar for using it selfishly. But in early scripts of the Lion Guard, the roar was more than a power. It was a curse. Every lion who receives it must face a test to conquer not just enemies, but their ego. Fail, and you lose everything. Scar wasn't the first to fail. There were others, lost to history, wiped from the circle of life. If the roar has a consciousness of its own, what does it want? Power or purity? And if that shook your view of Scar, just wait until you hear what Zira might have really meant to Simba. Coming in at number 6, Zira and Simba, a past more complicated than hate. If this is true, Simba didn't just defeat Zira, he erased a part of his own past. What if the fiercest enemies were once the closest hearts? In the Pride Lands, nothing stays buried forever. Zira's rage seems irrational, but what if it wasn't? Some obscure materials suggest she once served as a loyal guard in Mufasa's court before Scar took over. Some fans even theorized that Zira and Simba once trusted each other, or more. What if Zira wasn't just fighting for Scar's memory, but for a love that never was? Could Simba's banishment of Zira have been personal, a punishment for betrayal or heartbreak? But just when you thought things couldn't get darker, what if there's a ghost in the Lion King no one talks about? Halfway through at number 5, the Ghost of Mheetu, the brother. You never met, you've never heard of Mheetu, but his absence might be the darkest secret of all. If you've made it halfway through this list, congrats. You're part of the elite pride. Hit that like button if you've ever even heard of Mheetu, and let's see how many true fans are out there. Mheetu, Nala's younger brother, was a fully designed character meant to appear in The Lion King. He would have had his own arc, saving Simba during the wildebeest stampede, but animators cut him late in production. Why? Maybe because his presence would have shifted the entire dynamic. Imagine Simba growing up with guilt, not just for Mufasa's death, but for failing to save Mheetu. Some fans even believe Mheetu's spirit is what Rafiki sees in the swirling wind when he realizes Simba is alive. And from a brother you never met to a prince you thought you understood, Kovu's secret is next. Now, number 4, Kovu's true parentage. What Disney isn't saying. Brace yourself, this theory might make you question everything you know about royal bloodlines. But the circle of life hides more than it reveals. Officially, Kovu is not Scar's son. Disney made that clear. But why does he look exactly like a young Scar? Why is he trained to kill, only to hesitate at the last second, just like Scar once did? Some believe Kovu is Scar's nephew. Others say Zira was once Scar's mate. But here's the creepiest theory, that Scar secretly chose Kovu before his death, marking him with the same ambition and the same curse. And if Kovu's bloodline shocked you, our next entry features a lioness so powerful, the roar itself may have erased her. Down to number 3, the first lioness with the roar erased from history. Her story was buried, but if she returns, the entire Pride Lands could be shaken to its core. Because sometimes the past doesn't stay silent, it roars back. All bearers of the roar have been male, but old merchandise and fan art from the 90s feature a powerful lioness, surrounded by the spirits of the elders. Her name, never revealed. Her history, erased. Some say she was the original leader of the Lion Guard. Others believe her power was too dangerous, so the roar itself chose to be passed only to lions who wouldn't threaten tradition. But what if that's a lie? What if the roar fears her return? But now, we're nearly at the heart of it all. A single night that Disney cut, but that could have changed Simba's legacy forever. Almost there with number 2, Simba's missing night, the scene Disney cut that changes everything. This is the night that could have changed Simba from a legend into a tragedy. Between Mufasa's death and Simba's escape, a whole night passes. He doesn't run out of fear. He runs because he believes the entire circle of life is broken because of him. This moment, if kept in, would have changed Simba's character from scared cub to a broken prince. And if you thought that was intense, number 1 is the reason we made this video. It doesn't just change Scar, it changes everything. And finally, number 1, Scar wasn't the real villain. Mufasa knew it all along. Everything has been building to this. If Scar was only a symptom, what disease still lurks in the pride? In a 1994 tie-in book, Mufasa appears to Simba in a dream and says, "Scar is not the danger. The danger lives in every lion's heart. The hunger for control, the fear of failure, that is the real enemy." Scar was only the symptom of a deeper disease, one that infects every ruler who lets pride take the wheel. Mufasa knew it, Simba felt it, and Kion may be the only one who can break the cycle. So, which secret shattered your world the most? The lost lioness? Mufasa forgiving Scar? Or the idea that the roar of the elders is judging us all? Let us know in the comments. And if you're still watching, you're not just a fan, you're one of the pride. Subscribe for more deep dives into the Lion King universe, and remember, the circle of life has shadows, and sometimes those shadows tell the real story. And as we uncover these shadows, one thing becomes clear. The truth in the Pride Lands was never as simple as good versus evil. Stick with us, because there are more stories hidden in the tall grass, waiting to be told.